The silent assassin. Those are the guys you gotta watch out for because they will steal your girl without you even knowing it. Not the flashy guy like, what's up girl, let me do a backflip. Those are the guys that other guys think have game, but actually does not. Okay, we are about to witness a classical lesson on game. These 7 guys, okay, they're gonna rank among themselves who has the most riz, aka game. So right away I can tell the Asian guy doesn't have a lot of game. His facial expressions, he's constantly looking for approval from other people. A lot of attraction with women happens non-verbally. Some guys are born with it, you can learn it. If you know what you're doing, and if you have a good coach, and if you have a good system.
Yeah, I feel like it has to be more normal. Yeah, it's more of a moment thing.
I think Logan, this guy, he's good looking, but I don't think he has a lot. If I were to guess, I don't think he has a lot of game.
Wait, but every time you talk, it's Riz.
The funny thing is, a lot of guys that have game, you can't sometimes tell. But when he's talking to the girl, it looks very, very normal, down to earth. It's not the flashy guy like, what's up girl, let me do a backflip. Those are the guys that other guys think have game. Real game is being able to connect with a woman, and it almost looks like you're just talking to a friend. And a lot of that attraction happens through sub-communication, through some wordplay, sure, but a lot of it is the undercurrent, and most people don't see that. That's the silent killer, right? The silent assassin. Those are the guys you gotta watch out for, because they will steal your girl without you even knowing it. The flashy guy that's like, yo man, what's up bro? Like the classic player, you can spot that game from a mile away, and so can the girl. It's fake, it's cheesy, it doesn't work, it's cringy. Pop culture has you believing that these like movie star characters are like getting the girl. But the real players that I've seen in field are just regular looking guys. You wouldn't suspect them. They get under the radar, they get under her radar, and they spit very precise, comfortable, smooth, mad game. And before you know it, she's going home with him.
How do we feel about this?
I feel good. I feel this is perfect.
This guy has good nonverbals and he's got a quiet confidence. I think he's in the top 3. Cameron, I think, has no game. This guy is short, but he's calm. I think he has medium game. The Asian guy has no game. This guy, I'm gonna guess, because he's good looking, has some game, but not the highest. This black guy has good nonverbals. I think he's gonna have some game. This Asian guy's been quiet, but his nonverbals are telling me that he might have a little game, or he has no game.
I see you're buying a drink. Where's mine?
You have to buy it yourself, unfortunately.
Okay, he just lost, okay? Did you see that? He came up and said, I see you're buying a drink, where's mine? But she's not having it, right? Look at her body language. So she's like, you gotta come correct, okay? And she's like, no. And the moment she said, you buy it yourself, his whole body language shifts and he's like, I failed. And he's like, when you're getting rejected or when you are shown an IOD, an indicator of disinterest, it's important to maintain a frame, right? Because if you're just like, everybody in that room now knows that you messed up.
You have to buy it yourself, unfortunately.
Okay, the other cheesy pickup line that I had.
It's obviously not working and he's using the same strategy again. And she just like, look at her facial expression. She's not having it. Look at these girls right here looking at them. When you see girls looking at each other like this, they're just like, oh no, what's next? They already know, like, this guy has no game. Even though he's a good looking dude. And one thing you gotta realize, and I noticed from hundreds of clients, is that looks and game are mutually exclusive. And I'll talk more about that in a second.
Are you a camera?
No.
Because every time I see you, you make me want to smile.
Oh my gosh.
This is 2 minutes.
Yeah, so he's just going line after line, right? It's pretty bad. It's okay to be like, hey, what is your name? And then you accept the meta. Wow, everyone's looking at us talking. Isn't this weird? The camera's over there. There's like 7 guys here, 6 girls here. It's a little weird, but I would like to get to know you. Hey, what is your name? Right? So then I've acknowledged the meta, and now I'm talking to her one-on-one. So even though it's a weird situation, the fact that I brought it to conscious awareness, she's like, yeah, it is a little weird. And then I'm like, I know it's probably weird for you too, right? Statement of empathy. Then I ask for her name. Then I start that real conversation rather than throwing out pickup line, pickup line, pickup line, pickup line.
Hi, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, he finally did it, but he couldn't even... Did he miss her hand? What's going on?
My name's Kaima.
I think you look really good tonight.
Thank you. I like you too.
Oh, I like that. You have confidence. Can I get you a drink?
No.
Okay.
Okay, great. Let's cut it there.
To be fair, the girl's giving him a really hard time. At some point, what we call this recovery game, right? And recovery game, you have to try to elicit an emotion or a hard disqualifier. It's a little more of an advanced topic. Basically, you have to, even if you get her feeling anger or like annoyance, you can take that emotion and move it. If the emotion is indifference, then there's no way to go. She's gonna reject you. If you throw in a disqualifier, it's like, hey, Kiana, you know, we're here, we're supposed to talk for another 30 seconds. I don't necessarily want to hit on you. I just want to get to know you. Is that cool? Then you get her buy-ins. Like, so like, besides cheesy pickup lines, what's one thing that you have to do once a week that makes you feel happy, right? Then I'm starting to get to like a little bit more core of who she is. That's how I would get around that. But obviously, if you have a good game, you want to avoid like that kind of cold reaction in the first place. He's a good looking guy. He's got good body language. He'll do fine with other girls. She just gave him a little bit of a hard time. And despite being a good looking guy, he doesn't have the techniques that come with experience and, you know, knowing this stuff. He'll be fine because he's a good looking guy. He goes to college, he'll get laid, he'll have a girlfriend. But for those of us that don't have looks when we were that age, you have to learn game.
Hey!
How's it going?
Nice to meet you.
Errol.
What was it?
Errol?
Errol? Nice name. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where you from?
New Jersey.
All right, so Errol right away says, I don't do pickup lines, so he gets her defenses down. So he's gonna do what most guys in the real world do, which is I wanna get to know you, right? What do you do? Where are you from? What do you do for work? Do you come here often? Now look, if you're in college, that's enough. If you're in high school, that's enough. Just ask interesting questions that you genuinely kind of want to know the answer to. And most girls, just saying hi and doing that will be enough, okay? Especially if you're in school. If you're at the club, it works on young girls. But as she gets 21, 22, 23, as the club scene gets more, she gets more experienced, it doesn't work anymore because every other guy is doing that.
You're shining like a star right now.
You're talking really fast.
I've been eyeing you all night.
Oh, have you? Really? Because I saw you talking to another girl over there. No.
I'm mad if I want to talk to you.
Is it? Most guys do, so I don't know.
What's my name again?
I have no idea. Okay, you're staring a lot up this area.
That's a shade.
Kind of awkward. I want you to hit on something? No, I'm just not interested.
This is brutal. His inexperience was really exposed here. It was full of rookie mistakes, over-complimenting, and Julian just got his first rude introduction to what life plays like in this city. Those dimples might have worked at high school, but that shit's not flying now.
So at their age, this works, but it doesn't work in the real world.
Sick, look at that. Where are you found it?
Like, she's giving him a lot, right? She's engaged, she's reacting to him. So in this case, you don't need to run a lot of game. You can just have a normal conversation.
Here.
It's not my favorite, but like I'm more of a person that's wanting to like travel everywhere.
Really? I was gonna say, if you ever need any artwork, I got you.
Sick.
It's not bad, but it's like, oh, if you need artwork, I got you, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's called commonality, but it's a little bit forced commonality. And the girl's obviously pretty nice. You can see some of the girls behind her are a little bit bored, right? It's kind of like what we call win by default. It's like, well, I'm better than the other guy, and I didn't make any mistakes. But it's also like not a great performance either.
What's your name?
Okay, you don't want to, when you greet a girl, you don't want to have one hand behind your back because based on evolution, we're designed as human beings. If the hand's in the pocket or in the back, especially as a guy, you have that fight or flight response like is he holding a weapon, right? So I like to keep both my hands visible.
Can we talk for a minute?
When you're talking to girls, don't shake too much, don't move like this. You lose dominance and it decreases attraction for you.
Girl, I want to know your name. But you said your name was Emily, though. So I already had that.
Yeah.
But when you have a soft voice, you want to try to go downward, a little bit downward. Like, so, what do you do for work?
I'm in clinical research.
I'm a full-time college athlete.
So can you dunk me or no?
I can do more than that. But I can show you later.
Oh.
It's pretty good, but you went from this to like this. You went from 0 to 100, right? But when you escalate, you want to do 0 to 10 to 20 to 30.
Hello.
Hello.
From here.
Listen.
Do you just tell me to listen?
Okay, I can already tell this is gonna go bad.
But listen. I mean, I'll be able to take you from the va-va to sync, then back to the va-va. You know.
Sometimes guys go off script, right? They know how to break dance. They're like, hey, you want to see me break dance? Or like, they think it's a battle rap. They're like, hey, girl, bam, bam, bam. Real seduction happens almost from a third person's viewpoint, like two friends talking to each other. So he's going the complete opposite. Now, you can do a performance type style pickup that a lot of TikTokers are doing, and you can still get her attention, but after that, it's a normal conversation.
What?
But what I can do
If you're gonna battle rap, at least enunciate your words.
Make sure to be a chicken noodle soup when you're sick. Make sure.
Look at this girl's reaction. Girls can laugh with you or at you. And right now they're laughing at you. You want to win every girl over. You want to have so much game, right? If I was in there, I mean, I'm older now, so these guys are young, but you want to have so much game when you're talking to a girl, all the other girls like, man, I wish he was talking to me. Okay, my mentor has that effect, right? He leaves and every girl's like, oh my God, who is that guy? I wish he would talk to me. These guys have no game, and so they're just like laughing at them.
I just cry right now. I want to make sure to pick you up when you fall.
Is there a medic here? Because this guy needs to be checked if he's Are you okay?
I have like a In-N-Out gift card if you want to go, yeah. I'll buy you whatever. Yeah, I got like multiple meals on you.
Okay, now he went from battle rapping to bribing. It's like, oh, I have a gift card if you want to go. Like, don't bribe the girl, right? It's like, win her over with good game. And he can't do that, so now he's trying another tactic that obviously will not work.
You want to go to In-N-Out or like Shake Shack? We could go, whatever.
You haven't asked me one question about myself.
Oh my God, is it over?
What do you like to do for fun?
What do you do for fun? Do you come here often? What's your name? What do you do for work? Generic tripwire questions that every guy has asked her, right? So this level of game will not get you anywhere in the real world or in school. This is so bad.
I'm so sorry.
It's easy to laugh at him. What's harder to do is just recognize that dating skills is something that can be taught, can be learned. You're not born with it, you're not born without it. It's a skill set, and they don't teach you in school how to do that. And so you have to take the initiative yourself to say, this is something that I want to learn. Okay, and this guy definitely needs to learn this.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Tiffany.
Tiffany, I'm Dave.
Me too.
Dave has a little bit more feminine nonverbals, right? And he's fidgety, right? A lot of times guys, and some guys are just naturally a little bit more fluid and stuff, but when it comes to dating, overall, in general, you want to slow down your movements a little bit, and you want to be a little bit more dominant in the way you move. Now, I used to move my head a lot, like, hey guys, what's up? How's it going? Right? And that was me. And now the way I move, it's still, some people would probably call me metrosexual, which is fine, but I'm definitely a lot more dominant than I used to be. And I still feel more congruent with who I am, but I still get the result that I want in dating, right? So you do have, there's a little bit of a calibration that needs to be made as far as like the effeminate movements sometimes, especially of Asian guys, when it comes to flirting.
My pronouns are he and him, but I want to be yours.
I mean, look, Asian girls are either really nice or they're kind of hard on you. She's going to be hard on him. It was a pickup line, it wasn't a good one. Too supplicative, right?
I play Valorant, so I've heard that a lot.
Wait, you play Val?
I do.
Will you carry me?
I need someone to carry me. Are you immortal?
So he got lucky there, like right away there's a topic. So he should be able to go off of this and make something of it.
You're silver?
Yeah.
I'm flat.
Yeah, I used to work for a company called Riot Games. That makes Valorant.
Really?
Yeah.
So why'd you quit?
To start my own startup.
Oh, good job.
Thanks.
He sounds like a cool guy as far as like being an entrepreneur goes. He quit Riot Games, very well-known gaming company. He started his own startup. The content of what he's saying is high value, but his non-verbals are not. So she's listening to this, she's like, well, he is high value, I hear it, but the way it's coming across is not masculine enough, not attractive enough for me.
Oh, I'm an advisor for a management agency, and I also do content creating.
Common problem, a lot of Asian guys. So what do you do? Oh, cool. Oh, okay. Hey, I can relate to that, right? But instead, if you just take a pause and be like, oh, okay. Do you want to talk more about it? Are you excited about your job, or do you want to talk about something else? Because I don't really understand what that means. Management for agency, like what do you do every day? So take a moment and really absorb what she's saying and then come up with a reaction. Most guys are like, oh, really? Oh, cool. Oh, you know, I want to do yoga, but I haven't tried yet. Yeah. They're trying to relate to the girl. But instead, when you run good game, it's like, this is what I'm about. Let me take a moment to react to what you just said. Do I want to connect with it? Do I want to talk about my own story? Do I want to clarify what she just said? So then you have a lot more versatility to strategically, conversationally, where you want to go.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Do you do Valorant content creation?
I think my my gym stuff does better than like, or like any like yeah.
Lifting?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like lifting? Oh, really? Oh, cool. So like, what do you do there? So how do you make? Oh, that's so cool. Tell me about for you. Even if you have a lot in common, the way it's happening is not attractive to her. Okay, so you might be friendly, you might have a lot in common, but she just is not attracted to you. And attraction is not a conscious choice. It happens unconsciously within a split second. And if you don't know how it works, no matter how much you try, you will never ever get the girl to like you back. Okay, I know this from personal experience, and unfortunately, this is the case here. She might be nice in front of the camera. She might even still give him her contact, right? Because they do have a lot in common. I don't think she's gonna sleep with him, ever.
Can I get like a little flex?
No.
Like a little, like a itty bitty?
You can check out Instagram though and look.
Okay.
It was a forced close, right? She was like, okay, there was a lot in common, but it was like, when the girl has to think that long about an IG is like, just follow her, man. It's not solid, right? This is not gonna go anywhere. And he's so happy. Look at his reaction. So he's obviously nervous. He's new. He doesn't have a lot of game, and it's okay. But this is a low-level game. I haven't seen anything that I'm really impressed by so far. In fact, they've all been pretty cringe.
You had to think about it for a second.
Yeah, you can get it.
Okay, thank you.
That seemed like it went well. Let's move on.
It would be nerve-wracking in the bar regardless, but there's no alcohol, no music, it's all quiet, everyone is standing there.
I'm like the bar's worst customer because I go there, I talk to people, I meet guys and girls, and I don't spend any money whatsoever. That was the hardest level for me. But when I got to that point, it felt very free. I knew that I could get up, take a nap, get up around 7, 8, eat dinner, go out, meet some cool people, maybe even pull a girl home. And the level of freedom I had with the game that developed was so refreshing. I can go out anytime and just make friends, right? And it always gave me a level of freedom in my social life. And if you want to know how to do that, then check out the links below. But the idea is like no distractions, or however much distractions I have, I know I have a systematic way, a predictable way to create attraction and get the girl that I want. And with that comes dating freedom.
What's your name?
My name is Kaima.
Kaima.
Yeah.
Hi, Lee.
Hi.
Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Tell me, are you in college, school, or anything, or?
I am in school.
I'm from Riverside area.
Really?
That's completely coincidental, by the way.
I love how he took a second there and he addressed the fourth wall, right? Completely coincidental. He looked at the camera without using words, right? He just expressed a couple of things to her. He's not trying to be cheesy or fake. He's like, this is a coincidence. We happen to be from the same place. Second, he just built commonality with her without like supplicating. Oh my God, you're from Riverside? Me too. He's addressing the audience and the camera, not her directly. Okay? So it just makes the statement more genuine.
Wow,
Wait,
that's cool.
are you being serious?
I'm being
I didn't think you were being
serious.
serious.
No, I'm being for real. English. Okay, cool.
So he's like, okay, cool, right? He's not like, oh, really? Oh, so cool. Like the last guy. He's like, okay, cool. Okay, I hear you. And he's taking a moment to process it. It's not bad. It's not super great, but it's much better than every other guy so far.
What's your favorite band?
Band?
Yeah.
I don't think I listen to bands that much.
He's doing a little bit too much of this, but at least he's asking interesting questions, right? Instead of where are you from? What do you do? Do you come here often? What do you do for work? What's your favorite 90s boy band, right? It's like, it's unexpected. It's a little bit more fun, okay? It's a little bit more unpredictable.
Anything? Do you know? Do you know the? I'm working.
He uses his hands a lot, which is good. I'm working here, right? He's like, hey, I'm trying, right? And then he's giving her a hard time. He's not just like, oh, okay, that's okay. Well, my favorite is. He's like, oh, you don't have any favorite bands? Like anything at all? So he's going push and pull. He's not just giving her all this value. He's like, well, tell me, try it. And she's giving him a hard time too. But sometimes these girls, they give a guy a hard time to test if he's manly enough. And then when she breaks, she's yours.
Do you know the Killers?
No.
Yeah. You never heard of the Killers?
I'm sorry.
Coldplay?
Yeah.
You have to know Coldplay.
I love this because he's like, this is what I know. Do you know any of this? Can you salsa dance? Ballroom? Do you have a pet? Dog, cat? No? Imaginary friend? So give me something, give me something. Come on, girl. I'm working here. You're just not like, oh my God, you're so cool. It's like, come on. Give me something where I can connect with you in a real way that can make this connection work, right? Come on, girl. Like I'm being a man, I'm running good game, but I need you to give me something back, right? And that's very, very attractive when a guy can do that.
I do.
Okay,
I see
that's
them
good.
in
That's
concert
good.
on my birthday, yeah.
Okay, no way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see them in September. Artist then.
Maggie Lindemann?
I haven't heard of her.
Pop punk.
So instead of being like, oh really, who's she? He's like, well actually I don't know. And he's honest about it, right? It's okay to be like, you know, I know nothing about this type of Pilates. That's cool. I know nothing about that, to be honest, but I'd love to hear more. That's a lot more genuine than, oh really? That's cool. So like I heard of that like in a book. Tell me more. Tell me more. I would like to learn more. No, I have no interest in learning more. But I'm interested that you are interested. Tell me what you like about it, okay? It's a little bit more dominance, not just giving away your value, just taking the time to really respond how you want to respond to the situation, not how you think society wants you to respond to the situation. I think this guy did the best so far. It's not spectacular, but it's much better than every other guy so far.
Cool.
Yeah.
Was that good?
You kind of scared me, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, but was that W Riz at least?
It's good. He asked her, was that good? Did you enjoy it? The girl, honestly, that black girl was giving everyone a hard time. I thought he did pretty good. She's just kind of being a bee about it, to be honest. This guy needs to cut his hair. He needs to cut his mustache. He just looks bad. Like bad style, bad haircut, bad facial hair, bad shoes, bad pants.
I love this bar. How's it going? What's up?
Hey.
Oh my god, he's pretending that he's holding a beer.
I'm Cam.
Nice to meet you, Cam. I'm Jess.
You can call me Nut though if you want.
Look at her face.
It's like my music name. I do music. So.
Do you like squirrels?
Yeah, don't do this too much. It's very unattractive. Sometimes it's a habit, but you gotta break it because it's just like one of those non-verbal cues where it just like kills attraction. Just like goes down. She's like, do you like squirrels?
Do I like squirrels?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, they're cool.
She's making fun of him at this point.
Can I get you a drink? Because we're at the bar.
He's pretending like he's holding a drink. Like, oh my god, this guy.
Do you do any impressions?
Do you?
I have one.
Can I see it?
Obama.
Let's hear it.
Michelle. Thank you.
It's really good.
Does that change things for?
Does that change things? It's so bad. You just feel sorry for the guy.
That's it. I have more risk.
There was a time in my dating journey where I was like, oh, if I can get girls to laugh, they'll like me. There's a fine difference between laughing because you're funny and laughing at a joke versus attraction laughing. Attraction laughing is like, I'm laughing anyway because I'm attracted to him. Laughing is like, this guy is funny. Now, can you be so funny and famous that girls sleep with you? Yes, but it's not the main thing. When it comes to dating and attraction is not a choice. Attraction happens mostly non-verbally, but on different communication levels, right? And you can use words, but there's a lot of different things that come with the words that create that raw energy. Getting a girl to laugh is part of the formula, but it's not the main formula, okay? This is not a search for the best comedian. This is a search for a guy who she feels drawn to, okay? And I don't think any of these guys did that, except maybe this guy right here in the middle. But he had a really tough girl. She was giving him a really tough time. But I would say overall, he's probably the best.
We've never been in a relationship.
Okay.
Never had a girlfriend.
Okay, so a guy can be really good at picking up girls and getting laid and not have great ability to get into relationships or maintain or grow a relationship. On the other hand, you can have a guy who's great at a relationship or has a lot of experience working on relationships, but has no idea how to pick up girls. Okay? These two are related but mutually exclusive skill sets, okay? Like I'm surprised Nut can even get a girl based on his pickup skills, but maybe he's a nice guy once you get to know him, right? So as the time period increases, the opportunities other than cold approach happens. You can meet her through friends, you can meet her going to a class together. Over time, people stop putting up these fronts, right? But the ability to really remove that front and have a genuine interaction right from the get-go, that's gonna give you the opportunity to date, have sex, to have freedom in your dating life.
8 years.
8?
Yep.
I couldn't tell that guy was in a relationship for 8 years. He acts so weird.
Wife.
No.
Go find her. What are you doing here?
I used to be married. I used to be married. I'm a divorcee.
I'll carry you. I'll carry you.
Guys who have been in relationships for a long time don't necessarily have a lot of game. I have a lot of clients who are divorced, with kids, and they have no game.
4 years.
No way.
What's your number one red flag of yourself?
That's actually.
Lift too much weights.
That's funny. I think if you hang out with him over time, you might get a sense of humor. But as a cold approach in the beginning, I don't think people will.
I love too hard and care too much.
So tough.
Whoa.
I troll like insanely like a lot.
Yeah?
Like if I find something that you don't like, I will like immediately.
Why?
Just to troll, just to make you mad, but playfully, not anything. Well, maybe a little bit just to like push your butt.
I mean, there's certain things you can say, and there's certain things you don't want to say in dating, right? It's called gradual exposure, and you shouldn't say you're always late. You shouldn't say you're trolling. You can clarify it, but it's just like a losing situation, right? What's your red flag? From my last relationships, I learned that the way I understand this word is different than how my ex understood it. And so going forward, I want to clarify, I want to have proper communication. So for me, if it's a red flag at all, it's just like being aware of how I communicate and wanting to get better at it. So you see how I frame the weakness as a strength? That's how you want to do job interviews too, when people ask you, what's your biggest weakness? Okay, it's a trick question.
It's a trap.
You want to frame it as this is kind of a weakness, but it's something I've already worked on so much that it's become a strength. Make sense? She can really get to know your weaknesses after you sleep with her or after she's invested in you. You know, at that point you can reveal these things. But if you reveal these things and she doesn't like you, then the game can never be played. And I don't mean to deceive people. I just mean that if you don't get the job offer, your family's gonna starve. So when they ask you, why do you want this job? Are you gonna say, oh, because I need the money? Of course not. You're gonna say, I want to continue to learn, grow, and advance my career, right? I want to help my team. Once you get the job, people get to know you as a person, sure. But this is the rules of the game. These are the rules of engagement. Brutal honesty is just a form of laziness and selfishness. Selective honesty based on the rules of the game so that the other person gets the opportunity to get to know the real you. That is the rule of the game. That's how you play this game. And I learned this the hard way, okay?
Straight up. I was told that I care too much. Another one? I dance too much. I dance everywhere I go.
That's a good one, happy vibes, dancing. This guy's smart. Those are good answers.
I'm a procrastinator, so like I'd probably plan something last minute, like a date or.
You don't want to say that on a first date.
I think mine would have to be I'm a little stubborn. I learned from my dad. Sorry, Dad.
Stubborn's okay if you can put it into context. At least you make up your mind, you stick to it, right? There's a positive side to stubbornness.
Like the whole troll thing, like got us a little like questioning, like.
I told you don't want to answer troll, right? His game was good, but there's certain things you can't say in the rules of this game.
How much of a troll? You're great. Shake it off.
All right, whatever.
I just didn't want to get last.
the chicken noodle song.
I mean, his cold approach was weak. This guy's cold approach was strong, but he gave the wrong answers when it came to like real questions. This guy seemed like a sweet guy, but he has no game, so they gave him 6th place.
Yeah, where did you get
Chicken
that?
noodle soup when you're sick. Like, I'm giving you chicken, you drink that when I make you feel better. Like.
Okay, so another thing in dating is that you cannot use logical arguments to sway emotions. In order to sway emotions, you tell a story or you change the emotional undercurrent, okay? Women don't respond to logic when it comes to attraction. Attraction is not a logical choice. It's not even a conscious choice. So he's going back to this like thing that guys do, logic. Chicken noodle soup when you're sick, makes sense, right? Kinda. No.
Logan. We didn't like your first impression.
Maybe you are used to getting risks now.
Yeah, so he's a good-looking guy, and the girls recognize that, but he doesn't have game. That's basically what they're saying.
No, I don't approach people with the bar, actually.
Really?
I sit in the corner.
It's okay, I do too, I can tell.
The black girl likes him though. See, he gets the freebies anyway, because he's a good-looking guy. He will get the freebies. The problem with that is that he can't always control what girls give him the freebies. And at a high competition level, when he's at like the parties where all the guys are good-looking, or they're all male models, or all the guys have game, he's gonna have to work for it, and he doesn't know how to do that right now. But he's gonna have a good life. It's just that he can't have a better life if he learns social skills. He was a little bit too feminine. He moved too much.
I respect the singing, but if a guy were to come up to me and start singing, probably not.
If he framed that situation right, like if he didn't just like supplicate, it's like, I've been working on a verse. Do you want to hear it? And if he sang with confidence and without stopping, without like, hey, was that good? Did you like it? I think that would have been good. But the truth is, the way he displayed his singing just wasn't attractive. And they're trying to rationalize it, right? It's called backward rationalization, that you shouldn't sing on a first date. I think you're just not attracted to him because he's not dominant enough.
Dave, we like how really friendly and open you were.
You tolerated someone for years, they tolerated you.
Yeah.
That says a lot.
I wasn't expecting this. But the fact that he was married, I think maybe shows commitment. Like women are like, oh, someone's been with him for 8 years. Maybe he's got something going on, you know? At least he's had some experience with girls, as opposed to these other guys, which I can't say much for.
Second place, we have Nut.
You gotta be messing with me. Come on.
Yeah. I have to be honest, it was unanimous except for me.
And you're the one that I talked to?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Okay, so let me explain. Your reaction to watching them is different than if they were talking to you. A good example is there was a Millionaire Matchmaker show, and this woman said, I want a guy like Ari Gold. Ari Gold is this like super pushy agent from Entourage, right? And the matchmaker got this old rich lady, a guy like Ari Gold. And when she went on a date with him, she was like, man, this guy's annoying. When you watch something and you find it attractive, but when that person's interacting with you, it's actually annoying. So all the other guys thought that was funny because they're viewers. They're like, oh my God, this guy's making me laugh, it's hilarious. But when you're actually interacting with him, it's super cringe, especially in a dating situation. It's just like, you know, it's all about him, it's not about me. I don't feel good, okay? So I think that's what's going on here. And they give him a high rating, which I don't think reflects his level of game.
Like don't talk at someone, like make it maybe a little more personal.
I think his game is super weak right now, but if he can tailor his sense of humor to actually build attraction and get to know the girl, he can have one of the strongest games, but he's got to change up his style. He's got to shave the mustache.
What do you think got you to the top?
Training, hard work, dedication.
And
Our Rizzler is.
Yes.
You weren't just like trying to swoop in and just get to the point. You were like, let me learn more about you. And that's something I feel like a lot of men lack.
She is correct, okay? She also gave him a very easy time, but he sat there, he listened, he asked questions, generic questions, right? My intention is, I want to get to know you. At this level, at their age, all you have to do is not mess up. Don't make any glaring mistakes and you're number one, okay? As you get into club game, as you compete with DJs, male models, guys with a lot of money, your game has to be much stronger to even play at that playing field. This is like elementary school. Okay, I'm not saying that to like put them down or make them feel bad. I'm saying that because I'm in my late 30s now and I've just been through this journey. The good news is that if you're younger, right, you don't need a lot of game. Just don't mess up. Be genuinely interested. Maybe ask them questions that are not so generic. They may not expect, but still get to the truth of who they are.
It's just like, I just want my one and done. I want to feel powerful for this 1 second, but...
She made a good point. He's not pushy. He's not trying to push for something. The fastest way to get a girl to like you, or the fastest way to get a girl to sleep with you, is actually to be patient. To actually be empathetic to her attraction cycle, right? Men are like light switches. Women are more like slow dials. Respect her phase of the cycle. Give her a great experience. And you will get what you want in return. And it's a win-win situation, okay? That is the premise of the type of social skills that I teach, the authentic attraction cycle. Earl was the closest to that today, but it's still at a very basic level, right? He just didn't mess up, he didn't do anything crazy. He was polite, he asked questions, and he listened.
It seems like you're a genuine person.
I appreciate it, thank you.
Yes, but you all did so good.
No, they didn't all do so good. All right, as you can see, most men can't tell who has game, okay? In fact, Earl was really quiet early on. This guy actually seemed to have game, he just messed up on his answers a lot. Cold approach game wasn't bad. So the guy that has a lot of game, he knows how to go under the radar. Like, he's not there like pumping his chest. You know, that's not the guy you want to watch out for. The guy you want to watch out for is a quiet, polite guy who's actually a silent assassin. How do I know this? Well, it's happened to me so many times, right? Now look, in the club, yes, in San Diego, there's the, guy who's got, oh, what's up? And he gets the girls. Yes, there's that guy. But long term, the best guys that I've seen with women, you wouldn't expect it. They're spectacular. They can run flash game. Like, they can run game where girls are like very excited around them at the club. But the guys that have the mad game is just him talking to a lot of girls almost as if they're friends. Or you see her going to get breakfast with him the next day and you're like, what happened? I didn't even recognize you were a threat.
Well, this was humbling, but just continue to be yourself.
It was humbling because he gave the wrong answers when it was time for Q&A. His game wasn't bad.
I could not do what they just did today. That is terrifying. Just being in front of someone and just giving it your all.
Most girls don't know how to talk to guys. If girls had to be in a guy's position, it's not easy, right? In order to get dates, to have to put yourself out there in front of someone you don't know and just like put yourself out there, really like, this is who I am. Would you like to play? It's not an easy feat. It's good that she acknowledged that. That being said, the guys that know how to do that, you get your choice of the girl you want because you know for the rest of your life how to be able to approach someone, talk to them, interact with them, and create attraction consistently. You may not create attraction with every single girl you talk to, but if you can just get even 5 out of 10, 50%, that means if you talk to 10 girls today, you'll have 5 numbers. You'll probably have 2 or 3 dates the next weekend or this weekend. So this ability to really communicate authentically is a skill and it's learnable. And if you really want to know how to do it properly, check out the links below, okay? Enjoy.